After getting Homebrew to boot on my Nintendo 64, I decided to see what was out there for the Gamecube. The same company, Datel, also makes a product called the SD Media Launcher, which lets you launch games from an SD card. Inside the case was an adapter for microSD to memory card, and also a note saying that it will boot in action replay mode without the adapter. There is something missing from the action replay disc that's present on every other Gamecube disc. The BCA, which stands for the burst cutting area, what's called the barcode on the disc. But on every other Gamecube disc, there's 6 additional dashes of the same size that are cut with a specialty laser. Here you can see a scanning electron microscope close-up of the dashes on a commercial disc. You can actually still see the pits and lands which represent 1s and 0s in the dashed marks that were burned into the disc. The 6 additional dashes are completely missing from the Datel discs. It is theorized that the errors that would be at that spot are actually inside of the code that's burned to the disc. Once Datel reverse engineered this, they made several products starting with the Action Replay for the Gamecube. The Action Replay Max, and Max Drive let you use cheat codes and save them to a memory card. Datel also released the Advanced Game Port, which allowed you to play Game Boy Advance games on your Gamecube without the Nintendo Game Boy player. Datel then released the SD Media Launcher, which lets you run Homebrew on your Gamecube. Most interestingly, Datel released the only unlicensed Gamecube game called the Max Play, which is basically a collection of low-quality Game Boy Advance games running in an emulator. First, I'm going to boot the disc without the SD card adapter. The menu lets you select from the freeloader, which will let you load imported games, or cheat codes for many Gamecube games. So the hardest part about using the SD Media Launcher is finding an SD card that'll work. You cannot use SDHC or SDXC as they aren't compatible with just the Gamecube disc itself. You can actually switch SD cards later once you boot another application. I found that a 2 gig micro SD card from Transcend worked very well at running the Swiss Homebrew Media Loader. Swiss is a homebrew utility that lets you boot Gamecube software from several devices, like the SD adapter that you're using, or even a backup disk. And then I can switch to any other SD card to actually load a backup copy of a game.